Hey everybody, just wanted to send a video sharing about a couple of the last prison visits. So I didn't make a video after last week's visit to Georgia, but it was a really powerful class that we had, and we talked about why, what brought people there, what was their reason for wanting to learn to meditate and to understand spirituality in a deeper way. And a couple of the people brought up humility, wanting to be humble, not wanting to think that they were always right about everything, which is kind of a cool, it's a cool intention. And one of the things that's been really powerful about the different guys coming to the class is that I noticed that a lot of them are from different have different spiritual beliefs or religions. So there's some Muslim guys, there's some Christians, there's some Buddhists, there's some more people who I don't really identify with anything specific. So that's been really, that's just really beautiful to see. But they're all there under the same awareness of wanting to meditate and to know their true self. And one of the most powerful things that happened was a young guy said that he practices his prayers, his Muslim prayers, but when he's reciting them, he notices that his mind can both recite the prayer, but then also can go off and start thinking about other things. And he was curious about that. And then the other thing he said, which I thought was the most amazing thing, was he said that he said, I know that I am the self. I know that God lives within me. But he said, I believe that. But if that's true, why don't I feel good all the time? I just thought that is one of the greatest, deepest questions one could ever ask. And that was part of my answer to him, was the very fact that you're asking that question means you're well on your way. And I'm not going to get into too much of an answer about that. Perhaps another time. But if you do want the answer to that, I told you we're working through Michael Singer's Living from a Place of Surrender. And if you just Google that, some great teachings on why is it that we don't feel so great all the time. If we truly are the self, God truly dwells within us. The short version is that we've stored a lot of stuff inside, and that stuff keeps coming up, and we experience that. And but I think just asking that question, forget about the answer to that question. Each person can come to that, but I think there's something really powerful about just asking a question and not answering it, just letting the question speak for itself. So, and see where that question leads you. So that was amazing and powerful. And then today I was in Florida, so I'm back in Georgia now to go to the prison in the morning. But I was in Florida today, in Florida, and yeah, it was just a really exciting session and class. Um, we were listening to session 7 of Mickey Singer's course, the Living from a Place of Surrender course. But one of the things it talked about in session 7 and that the guys were really excited about was the process of how do you let go of all this stuff that is inside of us that keeps us from knowing our true self, all these different emotions we feel and thoughts that we feel and patterns that we have. And yeah, the guys were just really, really excited about that, and about learning how to let go of that stuff. And what do I want to say about that? The one thing that came up is we talked a lot about how, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen, that life is supposed to reach in there, life is supposed to hit that stuff that we have. And to embrace that challenge, embrace that game, and they were talking about there's plenty of opportunities for them as they go out into back into the prison for guards and fellow incarcerated people that are there with them. There's life is obviously going to throw something at them that bothers them. But instead of lashing out, instead of going, oh, I should be more spiritual than this, it shouldn't bother me. That's a real trap on that spiritual path, is thinking, oh, this thing shouldn't bother me. When in actuality, it's supposed to. If it's in there, if something's in there and I'm being bothered, it needs to be released. It needs to come out. So I don't need to feel guilty. I don't need to beat myself up. But what the guys talked about is being able to allow that to happen, to create some space, to relax back into the self, to watch and notice that I'm feeling this discomfort. I'm noticing my mind being really agitated. Okay, instead of doing something about this, I'm going to watch it. I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to let it happen. And the guys were talking about being really excited about that. We were all talking about being really excited about that and recognizing that our discomfort doesn't come from just that experience, that you can actually have an experience of something being released, and it can be a very joyful experience even if what's being released is painful. Because when you're seated in that self and you're watching it, you're experiencing that peace while you're also watching yourself undergo some transformation. And I'm sure we all have experiences of that, of crying or feeling a deep, release. And somehow it's painful in that moment, but we're also like, oh God, this feels so much better than being constantly agitated or messing with people and running around and causing all sorts of problems with myself and with others, to actually just to have the cathartic experience of releasing some pain that's been stored in there. That experience can actually be a very joyful one. And we talked a lot about that, and it was just, so they all kind of left the class excited to go, all right, what's going to happen? What's going to hit my stuff? Where's going to be my next opportunity to keep letting go of these things inside of me, this discomfort inside of me, and my resistance to that. So, yeah, really special, really beautiful, and yeah, just grateful to continue to be able to learn from them and to share this with you all. So, yeah, please visit the website, and I'd love to hear from you if you have any questions or comments or any support or anything you want to share. We're excited to hear from you. So, all right, One Love Prison Meditation Project. I'm Tim Bryant, and talk to you soon.